Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Ritchie and thanks for watching this edition of Sports Central. We've got a great show coming up for you. We have Andrew Ross from the Florida Tropics, John Oney with the RP Funding Center, and Kelly Scott, head coach of the Weber International University football team. I'll do my best Mark Jackson impersonation and say, stick around everybody for this week's edition of Sports Central. And welcome back, everybody, for the first segment of Sports Central. I'm Ryan Ritchie alongside my good friend Al Snow.
Two Syracuse boys are letting us actually host together.
It's unbelievable. It's been a while since I've hosted. I got this earpiece in my ear. I mean, it's unbelievable. You got to give it to PGTV for that. But anyway, we want to thank our first segment sponsor that we have.
Absolutely. Party Rentals Unlimited.
Absolutely.
Great partner. Do a lot of great events with them.
Well, we got a special guest coming up here, first segment, Andrew Ross with the Florida Tropics. Andrew, thanks again for spending some time with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, and I think you said two Syracuse, so isn't it three technically?
That's right.
Being
Andrew
a
went to
Syracuse University
Okay.
alumni.
Fantastic. A fellow alum.
Very
That's
nice
great.
The orange up there,
We won't mention too much about the football squad, but
Gotta like what the soccer squad's doing these
yeah.
days, though.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're going to actually be working with them on the PDL side about trying to develop a partnership because as a top program, we feed the players there, so we'll be looking to try to have a partnership to be able to get players here. Plus, I think they want to get out of the cold to Syracuse, get down to Florida for the summertime. So
well, and even the Syracuse, we were kind of talking about it on the way here today, but the Syracuse University soccer team, they've played pretty well the last couple of years, made the Final Four 2 years in a row, so it's pretty cool to see the orange back on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on. You had a special announcement yesterday. Kind of fill us in on what's going on with the Florida Tropics.
Yeah, a lot is going on. So yesterday we announced the signing of Miguel Gallardo and Rafa Alves, who are two big-time players for us. Rafa was an NASL Player of the Year. He has experience playing internationally in Serie A in Brazil. And he's got a great relationship with our coach, so we're really excited to have him on board. Plus, he'll strengthen our defense, which was an area that we lacked a little bit last year. We had a lot of offensive-minded defensive players, if that makes sense, and that kind of led to higher goal percentage that we weren't happy with. So we're hoping Rafa will come in and bring some leadership in that back line. And to further strengthen that, we signed Miguel Gallardo, and we are so excited to have him on board. He's a great face. He won the championships with USL in 2011 and 2013 with Orlando City. He played for the Jacksonville Armada, and he's just a good character and a good person to have in that locker room who can share his experience. And we're excited to have him on board and hopefully draw some of those Orlando City fans out to come and check out a game when there's no other soccer on in the off season for when the indoor's going on. So we're definitely excited to have the two of them.
Well, I mean, first season in, you guys came in and challenged for a playoff spot. I mean, what are you looking forward to for year number two?
I'll tell you, year number two, we're looking for a championship, and we are signing the players to do that. Under Dr. Panos's ownership and stuff like that, we have a little more depth to be able to go after some of the bigger name players. We have about 5 or 6 players we still have not announced that we'll announce over the next month or two here. One of which is debatably one of the best players in the league. So I won't say any more on that, but we are super excited to have the squad coming in, and then obviously our returning players who went out and really tried to brand themselves in the community, and we're excited to have those guys back too. And we really think absolute goal is make the playoffs, and then what we can do beyond that will lead to our success.
So you talk about wanting to win a championship in year two, and it seems like when you're trying to build an organization from ground up, you got to have goals, and there's got to be some sort of ambition. One, because you want the community to embrace that. So talk about the goals of Florida Tropics.
Yeah, well, our goals are you can say they're number based, but at the same time, it's all about getting the community behind the team. So it's where can we get additional exposure where we can reach people that maybe don't know about us yet. So for example, this whole week we helped co-host the Jogo Bonita Soccer Camp. It's a camp for underprivileged kids in the area. It's free. They can come out. They get good training. We brought the players out. Myself was out there coaching, and just to let kids have a good time. And I asked those kids, raise your hand if you know who the Tropics are, and about 50% of the kids knew who we were. So how do we reach those other kids who clearly have some interest in soccer and get them out to a game? So whether that's, we offer nonprofit tickets or BOGOs, things like that, where we say bring a friend, because I know that once you get in there you're going to have a good time. So we want to establish a season ticket base and really get a solid number that we can say, okay, that many people are going to go to every game, and as far as the off the field sides, and then getting the corporate community to support it from a sponsorship standpoint, and get the fans out there so that they can really feel like they have a team here, where they don't have to go to Tampa, don't have to go to Orlando. They have an identity here, in Polk County, and something that we can be really proud of.
I think Al and I ended up going to the inaugural game for the inaugural season, and probably the best thing that could have ever happened to you guys is you host the San Diego
Sockers.
And the San Diego Sockers, and you guys are down 4-1 going into the fourth quarter. You guys make an incredible comeback. I think you win 5-4, 6-4. And I came back to like 3 more games after that. It was exciting. It was an exciting time. And you and I talked about how when you're down 4-1 in a soccer game, it's pretty hard to come back. But in indoor soccer, it's pretty easy to make that happen.
Yeah, and that's, when I got started in the indoor game, it was the same thing, which was up in Syracuse with the Silver Knights. And I remember going to my first game and saying, what is this sport? Why has someone who's played soccer for over 15 years and grown up in the system here in America not been totally embraced in this sport? Because back in the 70s and the 80s, it was selling out arenas with over 10,000 people, 20,000 people, and the new league structure and ownership is really trying to get behind that to bring back that. And like I go back to saying, it's all about getting people out there for that first game where they can come out and they can see, hey, we can be down 4-1 going in the fourth quarter and still win 6-5. It can be incredibly exciting, and you really can't look away for 1 second because you might miss another goal. So it's really an exciting sport that we're looking to continue to embrace. And then, like I said, with these new player signings, we're looking to have it so hopefully we're not down 4-1 in the fourth quarter. We're up 4-1 and continue to build upon that. So
Absolutely.
Well, I know, we brought a lot of our, my son's part of the Lakeland FC program, and we've brought and there was a lot of youth teams that went to the indoor game, but you also had a pretty good announcement yesterday on the outdoor side with bringing Owen Conlon back.
Yeah, so that's the nice part is we have a year-round program here, because we have the indoor side that goes the November through March, and then late April through July we have the outdoor side. Owen has done a tremendous job. I'll tell you, after that first game where we did lose 4-1 to Miami, we all kind of sat back and said, oh no, is this going to be a long season? And then we turned around and beat the Villages, who were the former conference champions the year before, at our home opener with over 6,000 people, and it really kind of clicked, okay, maybe we have a chance. We finished about 14th out of 72 teams in our inaugural season, and no other new team finished higher than we did. So we were really excited about what that meant to the community, being under the Lakeland Tropics name for the outdoor side, where we're really trying to brand that there. And that goes with Owen helping us. He did a great job. He's very, very professional about the way he works. As a general manager, I do the front office side of the thing. So when we sign a player, it's all the paperwork that goes on, the different steps. If you don't have a coach that you have a good line of communication with from a front office or a player standpoint, it can become a nightmare. So he was very, very professional, and we're so excited to have him on for 2 more years.
So talk about your experience. You mentioned you're the general manager of the team. How did you get involved? You're extremely passionate about what you do. So talk about how you got involved.
Yeah. So kind of all starts with going to Syracuse. I graduated sport management up there 6 years ago now. So time flies. But I started to kind of focus that you could actually establish a career out of soccer, and it's been my lifeblood. I've played internationally in Europe and Brazil and all throughout America, and really grew up with the culture of it while the sport was still growing. And now you have so many kids that are playing soccer. So I said, well, let me see if I can focus this. Started with the Silver Knights. They were in USL's umbrella at the time, so I was able to kind of connect. My family moved down to Florida. I said, well, let me try and see if I can find something here, and was able to get a job working at USL, which was the now Division II sanctioned league affiliated with Major League Soccer. They're under the PDL. PDL is under their umbrella as well. And then was there, kind of learned the ins and outs of how a franchise operates from a league level, how a league manages all of the different franchises. And at the time, Orlando City was in the umbrella. So I was able to go from USL to Orlando City when they went from USL to MLS and see what goes behind from a marketing, a sales, and operations standpoint of how you grow an organization from 10 employees to over 50 employees in a short period of time. And we did a great job. In that market, we had over 65,000 people at our home opener back in 2015. So the team sells out their new soccer-specific stadium, and it was a great experience for me. And I'm always very passionate about being an entrepreneur. And I said, well, if I'm going to start a pro sports team, I was approached by a former boss of mine from up in Syracuse who now runs the operations from the league. And he said, hey, we want to start a Florida franchise. Are you interested in being a part of it? We have a potential owner. He just needs someone to kind of help him with the groundwork. And we spent about 6 months, on dining room tables, kind of working out the kinks and coming up with a business plan. And we worked with Tony at the arena and said, okay, well, the Lakeland Center is going to be our home, and kind of started it from there. So it was a good opportunity, and we've doubled our season ticket holders, we've doubled our sponsors. Everything is moving very, very quickly forward. We brought on Chris Economides, who was the former commissioner of the USL. He was the former commissioner of the Pro Indoor League back in the day. So he ran the Rochester Rhinos as they won a US Open Cup championship, only USL team to ever do that. So we have a strong front office that we're excited about.
So with about 30 seconds left, how can people get tickets? First game's November 18th. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, first game's November 18th. Obviously, call our office, 863-240-0101, and speak to one of our reps. Though we're always trying to help people and get people to reach on. Otherwise, they can go to fltropics.com. All the information is listed there. We'll be rolling out with single game tickets on sale next month, and a strong season ticket holder discount that will roll out on the first of the month. A little bit of a leak. It'll be $55 for a season ticket, so $5 a game. And
wow.
We
Wow.
really want to be aggressive with that and get people in the door first. So they got a month to do so. So we're really excited.
Well, it's certainly a fun time, and I know Al and I had a good time at that first game and beyond that. So best of luck to you. Best of luck to the Tropics. We certainly want to see you succeed in the community, and we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Well, June 16th, all over the country was Olympic Day, and we were lucky enough to have two-time gold medal Olympic judo champion Kayla Harrison, and we got some great footage. Check it out. We'll be back right after this.
So today is Olympic Day here in Polk County, and I am a two-time Olympic gold medalist in the sport of judo. So we're gonna have a little bit of activities, and we're gonna teach some kids some judo. We're gonna have a luncheon, talk about judo, discuss judo, why it's so great. And really the goal is just to get kids up and moving and experiencing the Olympic spirit.
Olympic Day is to commemorate the modern Olympic Games that started in 1894. Throughout the month of June, communities across the United States will celebrate Olympic Day 2017 through educational programming and other activities like this. Nearly 10,000 U.S. Olympians and Paralympians will share their experience and the role that the Olympic ideals have played in their lives.
Olympic Day is going on all over the world, actually. So not just here, but in all parts of our country and all parts of the world, people are celebrating the Olympics. Even though it's every 4 years, we still want to think about it, I think, every year and get people up and get people moving and excited about the highest level of sport. To be a member of Team USA and to represent your country on the biggest stage in the world is such an honor. And to go and win a gold medal, you're making your dreams come true. But to go and win a gold medal and be the first American to do it in your sport is like, you know, I walk in the clouds. Every day is a dream. And to be able to share that with kids and share that experience and hopefully light that Olympic flame inside of them it's exciting for me.
How's everybody doing today? I can't hear you! All right, guys, ready to celebrate Olympic Day? So, today, we're going to talk a little bit about Olympics. We're going to talk a little bit about setting some goals. We're maybe going to play some fun games. And maybe you guys are going to learn some judo. Does that sound like fun? I can't hear you!
You know, one of my favorite sayings about the Olympics is it's not every 4 years, it's every day. And I think that that's something I really want, not just kids, but everyone to understand, is it's no matter what goes on in life, like there's always going to be roadblocks and there are always going to be hard days, there are always going to be days when you want to quit, but if you persevere and if you work hard, there's, you know, the sky's the limit to what you can achieve.
And welcome back to this second segment of Sports Central. And man, Kayla, we had a chance to. Did you get a chance to?
I wasn't. I was out of town.
You were out of
Unfortunately,
town?
I missed her.
Yeah, we had a chance to hang out with her. She brought her gold medal from London, and she won a gold medal in Rio, and it was pretty cool to kind of hold that thing in your hand and think that.
Pretty rare when you can meet somebody who's won a gold medal and has represented the country like that. And it's great to see that she made it to Polk County to share some of her experiences.
It was a pretty cool opportunity. So, hey, we want to say thanks to our segment sponsor.
Post 09, fantastic restaurant in downtown Lakeland. I know we've been there. We've hosted some events there. Just very different from anything you'll find in Polk County, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Maybe one of these days we can get our next guest to pay for dinner.
Ooh,
And
that'd be tough. I know the guy.
Exactly. But joining us now, Mr. John Oney from the RP Funding Center. John, hey, it's good to see you, brother.
Gosh, thanks for having me. This is, I appreciate this.
First time as a guest, you've co-hosted before?
Yeah, kind of sitting on the right seat versus usually I only ever sat in the middle seat. We always had a driver on the left seat. Yeah, so first time on this side, and so it's kind of neat to be on this side of the table. So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things going on at the RP Funding Center. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on and all the great events happening.
Yeah, so there's a lot of buzz going on around the RP Funding Center right now. Formerly the Lakeland Center, just for our viewers out there so they know exactly what we're talking about. The RP Funding Center changed its name to the current name about 3 months ago. And so along with that, we've got a slew of things going on around the venue. And two of the things that we've got going on are major sports. Someone said recently that Polk County really has become the professional sports destination of Central Florida. I'm not sure who said that. I may have heard it on a radio, maybe a talk show, but a wise man said that, and it's true. We've got the fortunate to be host of two professional sports teams with the Lakeland Magic and, of course, with Andrew at the Florida Tropics. So we've got some renovations going on in the arena. We've got some renovations going on in the meeting spaces, and like I said, just a huge buzz right now surrounding our venue.
So talk a little bit about what's going on right now in the arena. It's obviously some of the schedule, the renovations are right now focused on getting things ready for the Magic. What'll people see in the new improved Jenkins Arena?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm happy you asked that. It's exciting because people like to see new things. And one of the things that we've seen is the old speaker system that used to be hanging right in the middle of the arena. That is down on the ground now, and those speakers are old, and they're about 6 feet tall. So we'll start to see new speakers, new lighting. We'll get new scoreboards, banner boards up there, so we can do all the full animatronics, whatever you call that, animations on those boards. So really it's geared towards the fan experience for not just the Lakeland Magic or the Florida Tropics, but really all the events that we have in the arena. And that really covers everything from the rodeos to consumer shows, that sort of thing. So you'll start to see those new items appear in the next month or so. And so yeah, we're excited about that.
Well, and eventually too, some of the changes will have to do with the accessibility for some of our disadvantaged residents. So that way everybody's included in being able to enjoy what everything's going on at the Lakeland Center.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the things that we focus very closely on. I know the construction team has a much better idea of what that's going to look like. The sales team, they kind of don't let us know too much about that, but from what I understand, we'll have a fully functioning elevator that kind of gets folks with ADA issues, I guess you would call it, up to the second floor in the mezzanine, so they can have more of a fan experience for some of the events that we're going to host. So that'll come in the second phase, hopefully right after graduations next year. So and part of that second phase is part that I'm really excited about is the meeting space renovation. So most of us know, we're not just a professional sports destination, we're also a meetings and conventions destination for Central Florida. So Al, you and I have been on the street literally knocking on doors for the past couple of months on a national basis. And so really spreading the word about not just the RP Funding Center, but really what Polk County is about in terms of a meeting destination, all the great experiences that our meeting planners will have if they come to Polk County. So that's been fun, but really when we get down to the renovation, it's going to speak directly to meeting planners for all kinds of meetings, trade shows, and conventions, and we're really excited about that, and that'll start in February of 2018.
Very good. So, John, as Director of Sales, talk a little bit about your role and what you've accomplished since you've been there, and if you can talk about maybe some of the things that we may see that may be happening at the RP Funding Center. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, in my role as the Director of Sales, it's really a multifaceted position where not only do we serve the local community, and that's really for us as a city-owned and operated property, our number one client is our community. So we have to be diverse in what we offer, and so I kind of oversee the strategies both on a local basis and on a national basis for new business. So it's really important for us to offer a quality product to our local constituents, but also have something that meeting planners from around the country want to come and take part in. So, my position kind of covers from everything from birthday parties to meetings and conventions to consumer shows and pigeon shows, and you pretty much name it, we'll do it. And that's really what's so great about sort of the sales department at the RP Funding Center is we kind of get to see all kinds of different events come through that door, and not one single day is it the same as the day before. So it's kind of neat to be in that position and kind of talk to some meeting planners out there to say, tell us more about your event. And what, you're bringing in 2,000 pigeons for a show? Or it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling, but there are businesses out there that, rely on that convention business, so we're excited.
Yeah. That kind of speaks to the, the RP Funding Center's core is, you may be doing a Kiwanis lunch one day and having the Snowbird Extravaganza with thousands of people the next, and the ability to, change to a Tropics game the next night while something's going on in the theater. I mean, one of the things about the RP Funding Center is the versatility, and that's something that, really has to be fun kind of day in and day out because you never know what you're going to see.
It's absolutely fun. I love around Thanksgiving time, you'll see the arena turn into an ice skating rink, and then 2 days later we've got a basketball court in there and they're playing basketball. So to me, it's mind-blowing what the staff can do, and really, it's a perfect segue to talk about the staff there at the RP Funding Center, because none of these events would happen if it weren't for the operations team and the technical team who really are the ones that kind of come together and make these events happen. And that's one of the advantages that we have when Al and I are hitting the road and trying to recruit meetings to our destination, is the fact that, number one, the experience from our staff is just incredible. They're a bunch of professionals who can really make things happen. And the second part is the technical teams that we have are all in-house. So meeting planners don't have to go out and source a third-party technical team with speakers and mics and things like that. They could just come to us. We can handle everything all under one roof and make it as streamlined as possible for them. So that, for us, is one of the advantages.
John, talk about the impact that these events have with the community. I mean, we're talking about meetings that have, or meetings and conventions and events and so on and so forth, that bring in thousands and thousands of people to the area. So if you could touch a little bit on the impact that it has, it's a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, it really is, and the impact is not just about the RP Funding Center. The impact really kind of hits on a county level. And really what happens is, you know, you've got all these people, like you said, Ryan, coming in from all across the country. Guess what? They need a place to stay. So they're filling up our hotel rooms, they're eating at our restaurants, they're shopping at Lakeside Village right down the road from us. So they're spending money. And so it's a perfect demographic for us to go after, and it makes complete sense that we attract that type of business to the county because, in all honesty, we kind of spread the wealth when we do have an event like that in-house. So it's really good for our community, and really the community gets behind it. Al and I talk all the time to our meeting planners. You know, folks will say, well, you know, what can you offer that maybe some of the bigger cities can't? And I'll tell them every single time, what we offer is a community sort of centric approach where everyone in the community gets behind these events and welcomes them to Lakeland or to Winter Haven or wherever the meeting might be. And we really appreciate the business. So, and I think it shows.
And I was just trying to think. I can't even believe we're friends with this guy because he's a Penn State Nittany Lion.
I know.
But they handled us pretty well in football. But
we just talk basketball and some of the other sports with the Nittany Lion fans, and they seem to be kind of quiet after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, with 30 seconds left, John, tell us how we can get more information about the RP Funding Center website, tickets that we can get. Touch on that for us.
Yeah, we have a full-service box office, so anyone that wants to see some of the shows, we got a great slate of shows coming up this year, but rpfundingcenter.com, or you can call the number at 863-834-8100, and we can help you out as much as we can.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
John, thanks for spending some time. And speaking of one of the great events that happens at the RP Funding Center is the Miss Florida Scholarship Pageant. We got some great footage, so check this out, and we'll be back right after this.
Well, I'd like to formally welcome you to the finals of the 82nd Annual Miss Florida Pageant in our host city in my hometown of Lakeland. These contestants represent the very best of today's young women and are the true role models for the young people throughout the state of Florida. The theme tonight, Forever Stars, was born after reflecting about what the past 82 years have meant to our organization. Each young woman that serves our state as Miss Florida becomes a star in her own way. They've encouraged to think differently, to invent, to travel, to an unexplored path, and to discover the impossible, and also to conquer problems and succeed. The winner of the Miss Florida Scholarship Pageant this year will walk away with an $18,000 scholarship. Now that's a lot of folks get that together. And you know what LaVoyce did at dinner? She's like, oh, let's just make that $20,000. So our new Miss Florida is not taking a team. They're taking $20,000 home tonight, and that's thanks to LaVoyce and Lanier Porter.
4th year competing, and so what's different about this year and what's special is all the girls are so close, and really we've created such a great sisterhood here so far, and it's been like probably my favorite year so far.
Absolutely. It's been an honor to represent Lakeland and Polk County as a whole, and coming here to do Miss Florida, it's just so much more special to me because this isn't just a place I'm visiting for this week. It's a place I get to represent for the entire year.
It's a great honor. I definitely feel like a hometown girl, and this community has really taken not just me, but all of the contestants in and treated us like family.
My favorite part was probably yesterday. That was my talent night, and I play piano, and I love playing piano. Music's been a huge part of my history, my family background. I did the best that I feel like I've ever done, and I really felt like I gave my heart on that stage, and that's what it's all about, is just doing your best and feeling like you are growing, and I definitely felt that yesterday, and the love and support from the girls backstage, calming me down and keeping my dress together, it made a huge impact on me.
The freedom of speech, but with that right also comes great responsibility. I think it's our media's responsibility to report true facts to our people. I think everyone should be able to purchase healthcare, and they should purchase it because every American needs to be insured. Healthcare costs so much money, and to not have healthcare, you could end up in so much more debt because of getting in an accident. So I really believe everyone should have healthcare.
I think anyone that is soliciting the use of an illegal drug or trying to sell it should be held responsible. I think that's one of the obligations that we have as adults, to ensure safety and to use legislation to make sure that people stay away from drugs that could alter their life and ultimately alter their trajectory to success.
The first runner-up and winner of an $8,000 scholarship is Miss Miami, Stephanie Almeida.
And that means our new Miss Florida is Sarah Zhang, Miss Heart of Florida, and a winner of a $20,000 scholarship.
There she is, Miss Florida 2017, Sarah Zhang. On behalf of our entire cast and all of our contestants and the Miss Florida organization, thank you so much for visiting Lakeland and the Miss Florida pageant. There you go, Sarah, it's all yours.
Welcome back, everybody, to the third segment of Sports Central. And Al, Miss Florida, wow, what a week.
Very long week. Great winner, though, in Sarah Zhang, and she'll represent very well next month at Miss America.
Absolutely. And the Miss America Outstanding Teens going on, the national pageants going on at the Orange County Convention Center.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
The winner here, Reese, hopefully has been doing very well in the preliminaries, and tomorrow night is when they'll crown their Miss Florida, Miss America's Outstanding Teen.
And I have to announce this, that Al took the Miss America judging certification class.
I'm officially
and we'll
a
be
judge.
judging pageants this year.
Well, I don't know about judging pageants, but with my travel schedule, but
Exactly.
yes, both of us are now registered judges. I don't know if that's, I think that's kind of scary.
I'm not sure. Well, from beauties to beasts, we got to. That's a good little segue,
Whoa.
right? Exactly.
Talking more
But,
around the players, not on the coach, right?
Joining us now, Kelly Scott, head coach of the Weber International University football team. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, talk to us a little bit about what's going on. Season's coming up pretty quick. How's the team look, and what can we expect?
Guys report in on Wednesday, so we'll get going as of Wednesday. It's going to be a different year for everybody. They've done away with 2-a-days nationally.
Yeah.
So it's down to one practice a day. So it's going to be a learning curve for all of us. But I'm really excited about the group we have. I think we only lost about 3 or 4 seniors off last year's team. So everybody's kind of back, and let's see where their minds are. When you're dealing with 18 to 23-year-old guys, their minds can change in like 2 hours. So you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about the team, elaborate a little bit more about some players that we need to keep our eyes on this year.
Well, our senior quarterback, Gary Shillette, is coming back. Gary, last year was his first year as a starter, but he learned a lot. We got a little bit of competition behind him. Competition is always good in this game. It's kind of like hosting a store or the show. If you don't have competition trying to get somebody better, you guys take a day off. So we got to have competition around here. Daquan Harvin, the defensive lineman, does an outstanding job for us. Our linebacking core is back. Secondary's back. I can go on, but we feel pretty comfortable with what we got coming in.
Well, with all those veteran players, obviously for the longevity of the program, you want some great new guys coming in. How about some people that we may not have heard about yet that are coming in and are going to push for some spots?
Well, you know, I don't really talk about a freshman coming out of high school. We've got about 7 or 8 guys that I'm really interested in see how they perform. But there's a little bit of difference stepping from the high school field to college guys. As I tell their parents, there's a big difference between an 18-year-old male and a 23-year-old male. So we don't really talk about those guys until they get out there and earn their worth. In fact, when they come in, they don't even get a number on their jersey because they've not earned it yet. So we're just going to wait and see on that.
Very cool, Coach. You've been doing this for a long time. What keeps you coming back? What's the burn? Why? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, this will be my 39th year of doing this, and I guess once it's in your blood, everybody says, "Are you going to retire?" And I said, "I did that 39 years ago." They pay me for doing my hobby.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just a passion. It's a way of life. And, I love my guys. It's one thing as a player, but to watch them as they grow and mature as men out in our communities. I'm really proud of the guys that we've turned out in the last 16 years, not just as football players, but as the men they've become and how they're representing us out in the communities.
And that's what I was going to ask you is what's your favorite thing about coaching? Is it seeing where your players are, what they become after, or what's your favorite thing
I think
about
it's the relationships. I mean, I think anytime you become, it's a people business, just like you guys. Watching those guys grow, the guy that comes in as the 18-year-old guy that doesn't know if it's stuffed or pumped, and seeing how he turns out, in 3 or 4 years, that's really neat. But really, their development as men, and if that doesn't get you a little bit excited in this profession, you need to get out. You're in the wrong business.
Absolutely.
Oh.
You?
Go ahead.
Me?
Go ahead.
Throw them at me.
You're doing good.
Talk
You're
about
on
the
a roll.
schedule. Talk about some important games. Of course, they're all important.
Every game's important.
Absolutely.
The first one's the most important right now. But what's happened down here, when we started this 16 years ago, everybody thought we were nuts. And as of next year, there will be actually 6 universities playing football at the NAIA level in the state of Florida. We have joined with the Mid-South Conference to make a mega conference. This year it will be 20 teams. Next year will be 21. That will make us the largest collegiate conference in the United States. It means I'm not spending a lot on my budget traveling to California and Wisconsin and even places like Syracuse, where I don't know why anybody'd ever go there. But it's going to help everybody around here. And it gives young men in the state of Florida an opportunity to get an education. I talk to my guys, and probably 70% of my guys who graduate said they don't know if it wasn't for football, if they'd have a college degree. So I think we're helping the state of Florida in ways that we don't even understand.
Yeah, obviously that's great to see is that as the kids grow up, as they go through the program, not only are they competitors on the field, but you're also letting them go out into the world with a college degree and, you know, really kind of making a name for themselves and carrying the Weber name on their back, kind of, hey, this is what got me here type of thing.
Yeah, it's been remarkable. It really has. It's when you sit back and you look at some of these guys and you think where they were and you go, my gosh, I didn't think he'd make it past the first week of his freshman year. And now he's walking out with an MBA. You know, those are neat things to see.
Sure.
And if this game, if that's all we accomplish out of our sports, is that drive in that direction. You know, there's a lot of studies about that athletes usually make about 35 to 40% more income than the non-athletic person with the same education, because they understand that idea of team and working toward goals. And more important, and I think something that is missed in our world today, is the self-sacrifice of being part of a team. Sometimes we get a little bit selfish in our world today, and that kind of, I kind of like my guys that understand there's a bigger picture out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coach, talk a little bit about your recruiting style. It's got to be, you know, with all the NCAA teams and the NAIA teams and Division I, II, III, junior colleges. I mean, how do you get a kid when you're sitting at their table? How do you get a kid to come to Weber International?
Well, I think it's about, again, going back to relationships. You know, do they trust us? Do they know that we're going to, you know, the big thing is you got to sell mamas. I mean, it don't matter what an 18-year-old thinks, mama's got to be happy. So the big thing is developing a relationship with that family. Know we care about their kid. Parents have heard me say a million times, when they come there, they're my son too. Yeah, I'll smack them upside the head. I'm going to do whatever it takes, because 18-year-old males make a few mistakes. So it's about that relationship, and there's a place where everybody fits. And I tell kids all the time, I want you to find the place where you're going to go be successful, some place that you feel you could call home and actually get a great education and enjoy, you know, developing the relationships. Anybody who's played college sports will tell you, you forgot the scores of all the games you played in when you're in college, but you never forget those guys you played with.
Yeah.
And that's what it's really all about.
Gives me chills. You must have some classic stories about Devin Cook.
Well,
or Wes Voth, because actually, and we were talking about this before we came on the show, is that we've had a lot of guys come from Weber, not only men but women, to come and intern for us and work for us, and they've always come and done a great job for us. So, you know, we're glad to have Devin part of the team, and we're a little joking now, but what kind of stories can you tell us about Devin?
Well, honestly, sir, I don't think the laws will allow me to say it on TV. But he's a good guy who worked his tail off for us. Now he looks kind of anorexic. I don't know what's going on there. But believe it or not, he played O-line. And
wow.
He didn't look like that at that point. But what a great young man. And Wes, you obviously know those stories can't be told.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. Well, talk to us about what fans can expect when they come out to.
Well, I think Weber right now, you know, I don't know if you realize this, we got a new athletic director, Ritchie, and he has been really pushing hard for the improvement of facilities, and we're really excited about what he's accomplished already, and we hope he's taken us a little farther. As far as the ball games, just come and see it. Nobody understands the level of play. These guys, you know, there's a smidgen between playing at Florida State and playing at NAIA school, believe it or not. And what I love about the NAIA level is these young men are not prima donnas. They're making sacrifices personally to come to Weber or to Southeastern or to Warner. You know, they dig in their pocket and they find ways to help their education. So they're doing it for the love of the game. And to me, that's what it's all about, really, the love of the game.
Sure. Absolutely. Sure. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this season upcoming, and hopefully we'll get a chance to come out and check you guys out. But we definitely appreciate you coming, and best of luck to you this year. And you've always been a good time when you come on to the show, and maybe we'll get you on the radio show sometime.
Well, you know, that's what the one thing I'm learning in life as I get older is, it is about having fun and enjoying things. And I think our players will tell you, yeah, there's moments in a football practice you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Just a couple
here and there.
But all in all, when you look at the whole volume of work, when it's over, and I think Cook would tell you this, when it's over, he looks back, there's a lot of great memories. The trips we've made, the things that our guys have accomplished. And this season, this might be a real exciting year at Weber. I'm
just saying
just
that,
saying.
huh? All right.
Don't.
There it is, 39 years.
We'll play that back at the end of the season.
There we go, man. I'll be here for that.
Coach, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And I got to remember a few things we forgot at the beginning of the segment to mention our segment sponsors.
Yeah, I know.
Touch on them.
Our good partners, Regal Palms, what a great vacation rental experience they have for families that are coming down, and as well as, you've got some relatives coming down this winter. Regal Palms, perfect place for them to enjoy their time down here.
Absolutely. You got to check them out, Regal Palms. But we got some great footage and athlete spotlight. David DeMilis, a wrestler that attends Ridge Community High School. Check this out, and we'll be back right after this.
My name is David DeMilis. I've been wrestling for 3 years. Well, my first intentions of wrestling is, I seen people, I just wanted to lose weight because I was overweight. And then I just wanted to play a lot of sports because I just wanted to be new. I just wanted to do things that I didn't do. I wanted to be uncomfortable so I can learn new things. And I just fell in love with it. When my parents, it was funny because I was a big football guy. I've been raised on football. I've been playing football since I was a little kid. And when I brought up wrestling, they thought it was WWE, and I'm like, everyone thinks it's WWE, but this is the real deal.
I first met David. It was a summer workout for football, and I just noticed the kid had a little more kind of toughness than some of the other kids out there in his grade level. And I started talking to him. I said, hey, you got the ability to be a good football player. But I also coach wrestling here, and I need some other people out. Would you be interested in trying that out at football season?
For the new guys that come in, it's tough. If they can survive here, I have so much respect for a person who can survive a wrestling season because it's tough. It's grueling. You have to wake up and tell yourself, I'm going to wrestling practice. Because no one wants, this is not fun. But in the back of your mind, you're doing it for a purpose. We're not busting our tails for no reason. You practice every single day. You practice the same moves. But once you get on the mat, it's like a playground. You want to be out there, and it's not necessarily hard to remember your moves because it's all muscle memory. Some people, they wrestle blind. And I know some practices we wrestle blindfolded because you don't necessarily need your eyes. Your eyes are a good asset to you, but it's mostly on muscle memory and you just remembering how to execute the move, and it's just based off of, it's mostly feel too. My favorite tournament was, it was outside of that mat room in the gym. It was Polk County Duels, and I was going against a kid from George Jenkins. I was 182 at the time. No, 195 at the time. And it was something crazy, 2-1, and it was 20 seconds left. And I was just having fun. I was tired, but it didn't matter anymore. Me being tired didn't matter. All that mattered was I won. And I just had to push through. It's all about the grind, wrestling. It's all about being in the moment and grinding.
David stands out because he has a very good drive to succeed in the sport. He goes out after we get done with practice and runs, and he's always been a guy that I can rely on to always be at whatever weight class I ask him to be at. And then there's times where I go to him, I'm like, hey man, for us to win this dual meet, I need you to go up a weight class. Can you do this and get me a win? He's like, yeah, I got you. And he's always been a guy that I could lean on for tough situations to get us some key points.
It's been many times where I've contemplated quitting, but if I quit now, what's gonna make it? It's just it's a bad habit, and I've been doing it so long, and I love it. So the days get hard, but I know every time I'm working harder, there's gonna be a light at the end of the road. You have to like bust your butt every single day so you can enjoy it. Like I said, it's hard in the wrestling room, but once you get once it's tournament day, it's fun. You're having fun. You're tired, but I mean, you're just seeing what you can do, seeing what you can pull off. All of us wrestlers who wrestle, I mean, we're a diverse group, but wrestling, it brings us all together. I mean, we come from different backgrounds, we come from different households, but we all have one thing in common: we love wrestling. And it's just like this mat room, us as a team, we're a big puzzle, and we're the little pieces. So, I mean, sometimes it's hard to fit all the pieces in to make everything run smoothly, but you know, just gotta make it work.
And welcome back to the fourth segment of Sports Central. Al, you know, the show's not done, but we made it, I think.
I think they may invite us back at some point.
Absolutely.
Maybe when Syracuse wins a national championship in something.
Exactly. Well, fourth segment sponsored by a great partner of ours, Hollywood Window Tinting and Signs. Thank you for everything that they do for us, the banners out at our events and all the step and repeats we use at special events.
Yeah, I mean, our partners are wonderful. I mean, we can use them for, I mean, Hollywood signs and tinting. I mean, we use them for, probably 60% of the events we do. And all of our partners are the same way. You ask them to help, and they're right there. They're right there to help us out and help out anybody that comes to the county that's bringing an event in, like like all the local events we've got coming up.
Yeah, we got a lot of crazy events going on, a lot of great events. Of course, the 2017 Barefoot Water Ski Nationals going on over at USA Water Ski there in Polk City. So it's kind of a cool little event going on.
Well, and we were talking a little bit at the break about the fact that we are not only very well known for all the major sports we do, the baseball, the basketball, soccer with, President's Cup that was just here. It's the non-traditional sports and kind of those niche sports that we're also very well known for. And, barefoot water ski is one of them. And, softball, slow pitch softball. We got the Freedom Sports co-ed states that are also coming up in early August.
Absolutely. You got to check them out. And again, another non-traditional sport, table tennis. I love that game. We got to get John Oney to play little. If you say ping pong, they get mad at you.
Exactly.
You got to say table tennis. Well, we gotta get to pickleball. John Oney, we should have talked to him about pickleball. He's a big pickleball guy. But yeah, the Florida Orange Blossom Table Tennis Series Summer Open going to be going on Friday, August 18th through Saturday, August 19th at Simpson Park Community Center. And Brad Woodington, a great partner of ours. We appreciate everything that he does for us, and just a great event going on at the Florida Orange Blossom Table Tennis.
Lakeland also, I mean, well known for tennis. The Bierman Family Tennis Center puts on some great events throughout the year, and the Coleman Junior Super Series is coming up at the Bierman Family Tennis Center in early September, right after the Labor Day holiday. So tennis as well, just one of those other sports that doesn't get a lot of attention, but we bring a lot of people to Polk County for sports just like that.
Yeah, and competitive shooting, man, that's become a big market ever since we hosted the World Shoot back in 2014. We got another great event coming up for them.
Universal Shooting Academy is known worldwide now, thanks to us hosting the IPSC World Shoot, and every year top competitors come back, whether it's for regional tournaments, state tournaments, and something like the U.S. IPSC National Championships, which are coming up in the middle of September. And Frank Garcia does a great job out there, another one of our partners, and just really has put us on the map in one of those non-traditional sports of shooting that everybody knows. Polk County is where IPSC is held, and we're well known for that.
Yeah, and again, back to table tennis, another great event coming up at the end of September, the Mid-Florida Table Tennis Tour September Classic going on at Simpson Park Community Center, September 22nd through September 23rd. Another great event that our good friend Brad Woodington is bringing to the area. Again, that's the Mid-Florida Table Tennis Tour, September Classic 2017?
We were talking about gold medalists earlier.
Yeah.
You know, obviously our homegrown Polk County gold medalist, Rowdy Gaines. The Rowdy Gaines swimming complex in Winter Haven always puts on some fantastic events. And September 22nd to the 24th, the Get Rowdy and Race swimming competition with the Winter Haven Stingrays are hosting that. You know, Winter Haven, you know, we're looking into the future with the field house and conference center that's going to be built there and is starting to move forward. The Rowdy Gaines pool is going to be a centerpiece, a part of that entire complex. And we're bringing big events here now. When we get that complex built and is up and running, the number of events from swimming to basketball and volleyball and everything else that goes with it are just going to exponentially increase.
Yeah, it's definitely certainly a busy time for us. And you know, you briefly mentioned the USYS National President's Cup that we had in mid-June over at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. 45 teams from all over the country were in town playing from Wednesday to Sunday, and you know, John kind of mentioned talking about the impact of these communities, and you know, we apologize, but we're not sorry when you try to go eat somewhere at a restaurant or you try to get your family into a hotel during the weekends, but that's the name of the game. And you know, it's certainly, you know, we just wrapped up the Pepsi Youth Bowling Tournament. We had just about 3,000 bowlers over a 5-weekend period that were in town in Winter Haven, and you know, we're certainly excited, hopefully, to get an opportunity to host that. But man, it's been a busy time in our office, and we're certainly we're still kicking, man. We got a lot more to do.
Well, you know, you got to look at it too, with all these people coming here, and yes, they're filling up the restaurants. Obviously, they're filling up the hotels, which is really great for us. But the whole idea is they have a great experience here. They all talk about the people locally are so friendly, so accommodating. Everybody's got a smile on their face. You know, it's Florida.
Yeah.
You know, and they love it. And the idea is that they come back as either tourists with their friends and family during, you know, maybe the spring for spring training. They come back down the road, or, you know, kind of on the meetings and convention side. One of the big things is, you know, introducing some of these companies to this area, and maybe they bring a regional office or a state office or one of those to the area, and they bring, you know, 100, 200 employees that helps, you know, improve the community in the long term. So, you know, yeah, there's some initial inconvenience with not being able to go to, you know, People's Barbecue on a Friday afternoon because they're packed. But in the long run, those people and the experiences they have here is what keeps bringing them back throughout the year, and may bring them back as a residence at one time.
And it's all about partnerships, and we couldn't do it with all those, you know, even all the way down to the people that make the beds in the hotels and you know, the waiters and waitresses at the restaurants. We certainly couldn't do it without all their help, and making sure that when those people come here and have a great experience, they certainly remember that and they come back. That's the end of the. That's the name of the game for us. So
yeah, and our visit, like for instance, our crew at the Visitor Information Center, you know, they do HIP tours to train all these people that are those frontline people, so they know what to recommend as places to go, things to see, the events that we do. I mean, those things are top of mind, and you know, we work as an organization very hard throughout the year on the little things that make a difference to people coming here. I mean, you know, obviously they see the cleanliness of the streets and the beauty of, you know, the flower gardens or whatever it may be, but in the end, it's the interactions they have with individuals that make the difference, and we work hard at that throughout the year to make sure that everybody has a good experience while they're here.
Absolutely. Well, we love our sponsors. We have to say special thanks to some of the sponsors: Cypress Lanes, Hall Communications, Hampton Inn, Lakeside Village, Harborside over in Winter Haven, and the Cleveland Heights Golf Course. We'd also like to thank you for watching, and all of our sponsors for their continuous support. For more information about sports and events going on here in Central Florida, in Polk County, you can always check us out on the web at centralfloridasports.com, or give us a call at 551-4750. And next edition of Sports Central, I don't know if you and I will be on it this time.
Probably not. I'm back on the road again. So
exactly. But next edition of Sports Central will be on Friday, August 11th, 2017. Thank you to all our partners. Thank you to our wonderful friends at PGTV and everything that they do for us to get this show rolling. And we certainly appreciate all your help. Until then, you can watch this program again. I think you saw the dates and times. But for Al Snow and Ryan Ritchie, we'll see you again next time.